Hello everyone, my name is Rosalind Guido, and today I will be presenting on the panel of American Studies in America in Focus through Kaplan's lens of violent belongings. So today I want to focus on how selective our education system really is and how certain things get taught rather than others. In Amy Kaplan's work of Violent Belongings and the Question of Empire, she explores how American Studies is an anti-imperialistic nation. She says this because of how our education system is built. In the context of selectiveness, our education system isn't just about access, it's about the content that is being taught to us. Now, in the text, she states there are bills before Congress to fund the teaching of American history and civics in the public schools. As educators, we should muster our authority to participate in these debates. Now, I think this quote emphasizes the role of American studies as a field in critiquing these imperialistic narratives. It emphasizes the political state of education, especially in how curriculum decisions are made. What counts as American history thought about is thought about methodically. It isn't just randomized. This reflects on how American studies is not just a neutral term, but it's rather shaped by political forces, public funding, um, ideological agendas. It's formed by taxes. It's formed by a lot. And I think this serves as a key for producing collective memory and national identity. By questioning what counts as American history, she encourages us to rethink of what we construct as national identity, what we can relate to, because we're calling this our history, but some of these things we shouldn't be proud of as an American. Um, Especially on who gets remembered and who gets silenced. It's very selective on that. And I think this plays into the bigger picture of Kaplan's theme of we must remove these imperialistic narratives, especially in the classroom. I think this can relate to Gloria Anzaldua's How to Tame a Wild Tongue from Borderlands slash La Frontera, where she discusses her experience of national identity through language. Her experience is something that many bilingual people face, um, of having to assimilate to one culture. She suggests in the text, wild tongues can't be tamed, they can only be cut out. This explains why controlling someone's language and identity is never right. And Zaldua argues that linguistic and cultural oppression, especially in being bilingual, in bilingualism, um, and the struggle of speaking a non-dominant language in a society that favors English leads it to being silenced. I think that being said is it's because what we have learned in America, we don't have a national language, but it's just assumed that English is the national language because that's what we were taught in school. And this assumption is what does feed into racism because people assume you have to speak English to live in this country. And I don't agree with that. But I think by controlling Latinos or people who speak Spanish to only speaking Spanish and, um, to only speaking English is similar to Kaplan's idea of how our education system is being biased and controlling of what we can learn. Overall, I think this is important in today's society, especially because we should prevent the repetition of our history, including the mistakes we have committed. Learning about her history should not be selective. We should be able to learn about multiple parts of the world, not just what only affects America I personally feel like I've only learned about American history and what affects America until I came to college. And that is just an example of how selective our curriculum and our education is. And many people don't get the chance to go to college, therefore, they don't even realize all the history that they're missing out on, all the education that, would have benefited them. And I personally think selective education creates social inequality, not only um, in the sense where you don't have access to resources and you don't have the ability as someone else, but it creates gaps and it makes the education more selective. And thank you for your time. And yeah, thank you for listening.